How's it going, guys, and welcome back. So one thing that a lot of people that are fans of the Digimon World series have been worried about is whether or not Digimon World will continue or if Digimon Story will take over. Now, for those that don't know, the Digimon video games have sort of two mainline entries, if you would, which include the Digimon Story series, which are more streamlined RPGs and include games such as Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, Digimon Story Lost Evolution, which never released here, and even Digimon World Dawn and Dusk, which was mistitled in the West. Just like the name implies, these are story RPGs that, at least in my opinion, appeal to a wider audience, but today's video is to talk about why I still think that Digimon World games should exist in the same vein as something like Digimon World Next Order, which just re-released for Switch and PC very recently. Now, for a little bit of context, the Digimon World games more so focus on monster raising elements such as feeding, training, making sure your Digimon go to the bathroom, and are far less story focused. However, the games do of course still feature a story and overarching narrative. These games are almost like an extension of the V-Pet, but in more of a mainline console game sort of format. Now, that being said, Digimon World has had a little bit of a mixed history trying to find its identity. The first Digimon World game fit right into this category, and Digimon Next Order is sort of like a spiritual successor to that. However, Digimon World 2 and 3 are very different games and honestly would probably fit better as Digimon Story games in that they're more focused on battling and exploration. When I say that we need more Digimon World games, I'm talking specifically about games like Next Order, where you have an open world to explore with a city that you have to sort of build up by recruiting various Digimon, completing subquests, leveling up your skills, etc. I genuinely did not realize how much fun these games could be, since I'm not someone who usually is into these monster raising games. The game really does strike a chord for me because even though it doesn't feature capturing in the typical sense, every time your Digimon die, they'll get reincarnated and you'll have a pretty big pool of Digimon that you could potentially get through evolution, and that is sort of where the monster collection variety comes from with regards to this game. Furthermore, the game isn't just raising your monsters. You can explore, you can battle, you can grow meat crops, and so much more. And I think it would be a shame to see this sort of sub-series of the Digimon franchise die off just because it's not something that most people would think appeals to them at a first glance. The best way I could talk about this game to an outsider who's never played it is that it's sort of like Monster Rancher if Monster Rancher actually let you go out and explore its world and meet other monsters in the wild that you can then fight instead of being a menu-based game. Personally speaking, I tried Digimon World 1 for the PS1 and I wasn't really a big fan. However, I think this game does a lot to explain its systems and set you up for success. So if you've only played Digimon World 1 and are basing your opinions on Next Order from that, I do urge you at least give this game a chance when it's on sale. Judging from the Switch charts that Raffle over in our Discord showed off, Digimon World Next Order was still hitting top 50 during its release window, which, while not crazy, is still pretty good considering it's a port, and I'm hoping that they see this and decide to continue to release these Digimon monster raising games in tandem with titles like Digimon Story, Digimon Survive, etc., because there's a lot more to them than just feeding and raising your Digimon. There's a whole exploration factor, battle factor, and all that stuff I mentioned earlier. I know I've seen a couple of comments on some of my videos asking for this type of video, and while I wasn't sure if I wanted to make a full upload dedicated to this because I figured it'd be kind of short, I still think it's important to outline, and I think if you are a fan of Digimon World games, you should definitely make it known and support these games so it remains viable in the eye of the Digimon franchise. That being said, if you are a fan of monster taming games like Digimon, definitely subscribe to my channel for daily monster taming content. You can also check out my Twitter, Discord, and Patreon linked below. Special thanks to the patrons, especially Jim Hamilton, Dro Ghost, Dark Persona, Exodus, and Candy Morency, and we'll see you next time. Peace.